You're watching Global Toronto. This is Global News at Noon.
First, I want to say these allegations are false, categorically untrue, every one of them. I will defend myself as hard as I can with all means at my disposal.
Well, that was Ontario PC leader Patrick Brown last night denying allegations of sexual misconduct after two women came forward with graphic allegations back when he was a federal MP. Good afternoon, I'm Jeff MacArthur. At first he refused to go, but now Patrick Brown is out as leader of the Ontario PC party. The allegations against Brown rocked Queen's Park today. Global's Mark Carcassol has the fallout from there, while our Sean O'Shea is in Barrie, where the alleged misconduct is said to have occurred. Let's first go to Mark at Queen's Park. Mark, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jeff. We're here outside Patrick Brown's office, the door of which still says he is the leader of the opposition. Of course, we know that not to be accurate now, but there's no sign of Patrick Brown here today, knowing that he would almost certainly be the center of attention and a lot of questioning after two allegations of sexual misconduct came out last night. Patrick Brown said he'd be at work today, but through the morning, the only activity at his Queen's Park office has been from security and staff. Brown called a last-minute news conference just before 10 o'clock last night to deny the sexual misconduct allegations against him.
These allegations are false, categorically untrue, every one of them.
The sign outside his door was still valid until around 1:30 this morning, when he released a statement announcing he was stepping down as party leader but staying on as an MPP.
A safe and respectful society is what we expect and deserve. And no one appreciates that more than I do.
Reaction is coming in from all over, from voters.
So let it be proved first. If it's proved that he is guilty of his mistake, his fault, he should be obligated to step down.
Good riddance to him, I say.
And politicians at Queen's Park.
I believe victims, when they come forward and they express an experience. I mean, I am not going to get into the legal aspect of any of the situations that we've heard about.
And I think that women need to be vocal. We need to change the culture of what happens to women in all walks of life, in all situations.
And down the street at City Hall, the mayor issuing a statement reading, quote, "Obviously the reports of sexual assault and harassment brought forward by two women yesterday are saddening and disturbing. Political leaders have a responsibility to set a high standard both through their words and their actions, and we must all state loudly that this type of behavior is never okay." The allegations against Brown have not been proven in court, but a seasoned politician like him knows there are two courts public figures are tried in.
I know the court of public opinion moves fast. I've instructed my attorneys to ensure that these allegations are addressed where they should be, in the court of law.
Now, Mark, just exactly what are the allegations that are being made against Brown?
And Jeff, there are two separate allegations, one of them stemming back as far as 10 years ago, the other about 5 years ago, from two different women, both of them occurring allegedly while he was an MP for the federal Conservatives in Barrie. One of the females alleges that Patrick Brown made a pass at her when she was just a teenager, when she was in high school, that happening during a tour of his house. The second accuser says that she was in university at the time, still a teenager, and working for Patrick Brown. She alleges that he sexually assaulted her while they sat together on a bed in his home. In both cases, the people making the allegations say that they had been drinking, whereas Patrick Brown, who is noted for not drinking, was sober at the time. Of course, as mentioned earlier, these are all just allegations. Nothing has yet been proven in court. Back to you.
All right, Mark Carcassol for us at Queen's Park. Let's move now to Barrie, Patrick Brown's home riding, and Sean O'Shea. Sean, the allegations being made against Brown are said to have occurred while he was an MP for that area. What exactly are you hearing from people there this morning?
Good afternoon, Jeff. We're actually on Dunlop Street East, the main street here in Barrie, and over my shoulder is Hooligans Pub. Patrick Brown is one of the co-owners of Hooligans Pub, and this is a mainstay here downtown. We talked to a number of people here this morning when we got up to Barrie about the allegations, about what happened to Mr. Brown, his downfall as leader, and many people were shocked. People used words like a nice guy, a really unnecessary situation, a good citizen. This is bad for the province. Patrick Brown was a local politician here from the age of 22. He won 2 local elections. He was a city councillor before he went on and became a federal MPP, won 3 elections there. Patrick Brown is very well known in this area, even though the city of Barrie does not fall within his current constituency. People know him. Many people like him. People very much had things to say about what happened. Here's a smattering of what they said to us just a few minutes ago.
He was our guy, right? You know, and everyone put a lot of effort and emotional investment into him, and you know, he was going to be great.
Well, it's to be expected, right? But it seems like it's happening to a lot of men. I don't know if there's some truth to it or everybody's just jumping on the same, you know, bandwagon.
I think it's terrible for us. I'm a conservative, and I just feel sick about it. We don't need this now.
It hurts the whole province because he's a good man and a good leader, and the whole province is going to be without him.
People who went on camera today with us all said good things or neutral things about Patrick Brown. I talked to some people off camera who had other things to say, describing him as a playboy and other things of that nature. Of course, the discussion here in Barrie and in his constituency is all about what has happened to the leader. I asked one woman who did appear on camera before whether they had high hopes for Patrick Brown. She said they had moderate hopes. Many people did expect him here. Many people expected him to be the next Premier of Ontario. That, of course, is not going to happen based on the events yesterday. Back to you.
All right, Sean O'Shea for us in Barrie. Thank you, Sean. Now, the allegations facing Patrick Brown have reached as far as the Prime Minister. Justin Trudeau is wrapping up his time in Davos at the World Economic Forum, and he had this to say.
It's extremely important that we make absolutely clear that sexual harassment, sexual assault is unacceptable. We take these allegations extremely seriously whenever they come up. Obviously, my thoughts turn immediately to the women who came forward, knowing how difficult it can be, to salute them for their courage and their leadership.